Hello again. Today I worked on a Valentine's Day card for the current Lawn Fawn blog challenge number 165, Lots of Heart. I like to participate in challenges because it gives me a theme or a direction to go. The little beekeeper on this card was a freebie with purchase during the May 2023 release. I hadn't had a chance to use it until today, and I think he is definitely a keeper. Hit subscribe if you would like to be notified of future videos. You can also follow me on Instagram at Sandy Cogdill or on my blog, A Little Bit of Glitter. Let's have some fun. I'm going to start with a 5x6 piece of white cardstock. For this next step, I'm using Distress Oxide inks. For the sky, I'm going to use Broken China and my cloudy stencil. I'm going to start at the top of my cardstock and start moving down. Each time I go down, I'm going to flip my stencil to another side to change the formation of the clouds. I'm going to keep going down until I feel like I'm right where I want my grassy area to start. I'm going to leave my stencil in place, and I'm going to speckle the upper part with watered down ink just to add some dimension. Next, I'm going to use my grassy stencil with Mowed Lawn ink. I'm going to tape it in place where I want it, just so it doesn't move around, and go over that whole area with the ink. I'm going to come back in with the Lucky Clover, which is a little bit darker just to give it a little bit more dimension. And then, leaving my stencil in place, I'm going to water down some Lucky Clover ink and speckle that area also for a little bit of dimension. Once the ink is dry on that grass, I'm going to take the masking edge of that stencil, lay it over the grass, and then I'm going to come back in with just the ink that's left on my brush with the Broken China and go over those grass blades to just kind of create a horizon line in the card. I don't want the clouds just to end in the grass. It's just too harsh. Now I'm going to determine where I want to cut out my Magic Iris Heart add-on. So I'm just going to place it around on my background, maybe lay my stamps on the background as to where I think I'm going to want them on the grass. Then I'm going to take it to my die machine and cut it out. I use the Magic Iris and the Magic Iris Heart add-on for this card. I am making the iris mechanism with white cardstock. I have all my pieces cut out and mini glue dots applied to the little sausage pieces. I am placing them in the base circle that has the slots cut out and then placing another circle on top. I'm going to flip that over, apply glue tape at the spots on the back that have kind of a punched out pattern, and then I'm going to apply a tab to each of those spots and flip it back over. I'm going to place a little glue halfway down the tab and place it on the circle, forming a V next to one of the tabs. Now I'm going to place the last circle on top and then fold the 3 tabs over and glue them down. You don't want to make it too tight, just snug to the outside edge. At this point, I test the mechanism to make sure it works. I had originally intended to make the interactive mechanism to be made out of colored cardstock, but then thought that it would look better if I carried the sky through the heart cut out. So I kind of went at it backwards. It would have been much easier if I had inked it all at one time with the mechanism attached. As you can see, I'm trying to line up my stencil on my iris piece so that the clouds flow through that mechanism. The Magic Heart Iris add-on has a special tab. I'm going to go ahead and ink that the Broken China blue so it kind of blends in with my scene. I will fill in the arrow later with a piece of red cardstock. I like the look of heat embossed sentiments, so I'm going to use my Misty to stamp my sentiments. I'm using Henry Jr.'s ABCs and black embossing powder. I also like foiling my projects when I can, so I use the stitch trails hot foil plates with red glimmer foil. I was worried that my heat embossed sentiment was going to get messed up when I placed it on my hot foil machine, but it came out just fine. I don't know if this step makes a big impact on my card. I could have stamped it with ink and it would have probably given the same effect. I just like to add a little bit of glitz when I can. Once I determined where I wanted my stitch trail to be, I went ahead and placed it on my card and taped it down. I took a small piece of red glimmer foil and placed it in between my card and the plate, making sure to keep the pretty side toward the plate, and brought it to my hot foil machine. For the center heart, I used yellow cardstock and blended a little spiced marmalade on the edges to soften it. I used the sentiment from the stamp set, but I had to cut it in half to make it fit my heart. I heat embossed that with the embossing powder also. Now it's time to put it all together. I'm putting foam tape at the top and bottom of my card front and glue tape only on the 3 tabs on the back. I'm going to place that on a 5.5 by 4.25 cardstock. Next, I'm going to put glue tape on the back of my heart and slide it in from the side of the card to line it up with the heart opening. This is really tricky. Just be patient. I am usually a liquid glue person, but I would definitely recommend using glue tape on this step. I have stamped images from You're a Keeper, High Five, Absolutely Awesome, and You Goat This. For the grass, I am using Copic marker YG05 and G09. For the bee box and sign sticks, I'm using E55, E57, and E59. The honey in the jars, his hat, gloves, and boots are Y13, Y15, and Y17. For most of the red on the card, I have used R14, R27, and R46. For the little veil on his hat, I used R02 and brought that color down where it drapes over his outfit. The little bear is E31, E33, and E35. The jar labels, bee wings, and signs are BG000 and BG01. The sentiments on the sign are from special delivery. I also used the heart from that stamp set to stamp the little heart on his hat. I thought it added just a nice little touch. Once these are all colored, I'm going to cut them out and figure out where I want to place them on my card. I have also used Henry's ABCs to cut out the B, E, E out of black and yellow cardstock. I layered them and then highlighted them with the white gel pen. Unfortunately, I didn't get any video on me putting my scene together, but I think that the picture of my card shows pretty much what I did. I'm really pleased with the way this card turned out, and I am just in love with that little beekeeper. Like I said before, he is definitely a keeper. Go ahead and hit subscribe if you would like to be notified of future videos. You can also follow me on Instagram at Sandy Cogdill or on my blog, A Little Bit of Glitter. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.